Is living in the mountains really that much different than living in, say, Denver, Texas, or any other place in the US? You might not think so, but in today's video, I'm going to share 7 things that are unique to living in Summit County that might surprise you. Oh, and make sure you watch to the very end because I'm going to share with you a local's insider tip that can save you a lot of money. Number 1, mail service. Honestly, this can be mind-boggling, and someone should teach a class on how to help us figure out how to get our mail from a variety of different sources. For a majority of us that live here in Summit County, we don't get mail delivered to our homes or condos, period. We don't have mailboxes, and instead, we have to go to the post office and have everything sent to a P.O. box. You'll have to prove that you're a resident here to get a P.O. box, and they'll likely tell you you have to pay for it. Now, this is for anything that's being sent by way of the United States Postal Service, USPS. So if you put your physical address on anything that goes through the USPS without a P.O. box, it will get sent back and returned, guaranteed. Now, there are some exceptions. FedEx and UPS will deliver to your home address. So for those of you that use services like Amazon Prime, for example, those packages should be delivered to your home. I say should because if the sender changes the shipping method after you order it and you put your physical address on it, then it will get sent back if it doesn't also have a P.O. box on it. It can get really complicated, especially when companies don't confirm the shipping method or they change it on you. Also, there are some areas that do get normal mail service, like Summit Cove and Dillon. They're one of the lucky ones. The lack of reliable mail service here is just one of those quirky things about living in the mountains that you'll need to get used to, and it might take you a while to figure it out. The good thing about it, though, is we all end up going to the post office, and much of the time you'll find yourself running into a friend or someone you know. Number 2, cell service. Cell service can be really spotty in certain areas, or you may not get a signal at all, depending upon how far away from the main towns you are. And it can be really dependent on which carrier you use. So, for example, I used AT&T when I lived a few blocks south of Main Street in Frisco, and it was okay for the most part. Then I moved closer to the lake in Frisco and found out that where I moved to was a total dead zone for AT&T in Frisco, and had to switch to Verizon where the signal's great. Also, when there's a lot of people in town, say on a holiday weekend, the cell service can really slow down and get spotty in areas that are normally fine. This likely turns into a trial and error ordeal to find out which carrier will work best for you, depending on where you live. So in some cases, especially if you live in an area with no cell signal, you may need to invest in like a signal booster or a satellite phone to ensure that you just have reliable communication, or you'll just have to rely on Wi-Fi. Number 3, I-70 closures. One of the great things about owning a property in Summit County is how close we are to Denver and Denver International Airport. But the I-70 freeway that allows us to get there so quickly isn't always something that you can count on, especially in the winter. Now, I'm not talking about just weekend traffic that can be a headache. It's when they close I-70 for car crashes, emergency road repairs, and weather-related instances. What you may think might take you an hour or two can sometimes turn into a 4 to 8 hour ordeal if I-70 gets closed. And also, you'll want to make sure that you look at the weather and forecast before setting appointments down in Denver or, for that Costco trip. If we're forecasted to get heavy snow, then it's best to schedule your trip to a day that has better weather. Also, you'll want to add several travel apps to your phone in addition to the normal Google and Apple Maps, and check them all. CDOT, Colorado Department of Transportation, has their own app and Twitter account. Colorado Trip Planner is another one, and honestly, I find that local social media groups like One Man's Junk Summit County on Facebook and I-70 Things on Instagram often have more up-to-date information sooner than CDOT sites. You'll also want to make sure that your car is stocked and prepared in case you get stuck on the freeway for an extended period of time. Extra water, food, and a blanket are a must. Number 4, altitude in your pets. With the majority of Summit County sitting at 9,000 feet or more of elevation, not only do you need to prepare yourself for the high altitude, but you don't want to forget about your pets. Most of us think of altitude sickness affecting humans, but not necessarily our furry friends. The altitude can be challenging for pets, especially those that are not acclimated to the elevation. Pets can experience altitude sickness with symptoms similar to ours, such as dehydration, difficulty breathing, increased heart rate, and nausea and vomiting. Acclimating your pets is also similar to what we do for ourselves, which is making sure they drink plenty of water, gradually exposing them to elevation change, and taking shorter walks and gradually increasing it to a longer duration. Make sure you have plenty of snacks for your pets, and if it's going to be cold, bring an additional coat or jacket, and consider bringing boots to protect their feet as well in both the winter and in the summer. Most importantly, talk with your veterinarian and make sure your pet's in good condition before bringing them to the mountains or taking them for a mountain hike. Number 5, grocery shopping on a Monday. After a busy weekend in the mountains, and especially if it's been a holiday weekend or during spring break, don't expect to find everything you're looking for at the local grocery stores if you're shopping on a Monday. The shelves are often bare and cleaned out after the flood of visitors from the weekend. Most stores are just getting their deliveries on Monday and don't usually have the shelves fully stocked again until after that. It's best to try to plan ahead and stay stocked up so you don't find yourself needing something that you just can't find. For example, I went to 4 different stores the other day just to find a pair of hand warmers during the peak of spring break. I did find them though. Number 6, snow tires. Winters here in the mountains are intense with heavy snowfall and icy conditions, and that can mean driving in snow for a majority of the year. Proper tires are crucial if you're living in the mountains. Snow tires provide significantly better traction and handling on snowy and icy roads. They have deeper treads and softer rubber composition that regular tires just don't have, which allows them to maintain a better grip on slippery surfaces and can help reduce the risk of accidents. Snow tires also improve your car's braking distance, acceleration, and handling, so you can drive safer and more confidently. Colorado's traction law is in effect on I-70 from September 1st through May 31st and requires vehicles to have either snow tires or tires with a mud snow designation or 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive capability. So snow tires are an essential for mountain living, not only for your safety, but for others on the road as well. But here's the thing. What do you do with your extra set of tires when you're not using them if you don't have a garage or you live in a small condo? Why wouldn't you have a garage? Well, that brings me to number 7. Not all homes and condos have garages up here in the mountains. It seems crazy, right? Especially for a place that gets so much snow, but it's true. Plenty of properties with ski storage and lockers, but not so much on the garages. When I was looking for a property to buy when I first moved here, I was adamant that I had to have a garage. And then I was surprised to find out that there's a lot of homes and condos that simply don't have one. Now, if you can't find a property that comes with a garage, then the next best thing is to find one that includes a sizable storage closet or shed. At least then you'll have a place to store all your outdoor gear and that extra set of tires. But if that doesn't happen, then there are some local storage facilities, but keep in mind that they are in high demand and more expensive than what's offered down in Denver. So it might be worth the drive if you want to save some money or if you have a lot of things that you need to store. Another option for storing extra tires. There's companies in Denver that will pick up, store, and deliver your tires for you. So this is a great option that keeps your tires safe and dry until you need them again for next season. But again, this is only in Denver from what I've learned, so you'll need to have your tires changed down in Denver. Want to know about a great local insider tip? If you plan to live here either full-time or during the winter season, if you volunteer at Copper Mountain for their events and competitions for just 7 days throughout the winter season, you'll get a free season pass to Copper Mountain, plus a bunch of extra discounts and benefits at the resort. And it's a really fun way to spend your day, helping out, giving back, and you get the best seat in the house on some of the major events and competitions at the resort. So if you want to see what a day of volunteering at Copper looks like, click here. Or if you want to know some of the pros and cons of living in Breckenridge, you'll really like this video, so click right here. Do you want to know more about what you can expect when you own a property here in the mountains? Just send me an email or give me a call. All my contact information is listed in the description section below. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. I'll see you again in my next video.